I got a couple thoughts on the game. I thought our pitching staff did a tremendous job. Really, we gave them a couple unearned runs there. Didn't make a play at second and then third, and but just basically just pounded the strike zone most of the night, and a lot of different arm slots and angles and good velocity. Blaine started out, a little slow on the mound. I felt like I think he. Like I made the comment many times. I think he's just really grown up as a pitcher, and he wasn't, trying to be overpowering. He just pitched, and it seemed like maybe the second and third inning he started, working his curveball and his changeup. Yeah, but he had three different innings where there were 20 minutes between coming off the field and then getting back out there, and. If it wasn't for that, we'd have sent him back out for the sixth. He really had about 15, 20 more pitches he could have thrown. We just felt like there was too much downtime and the temperature, long season. But just proud of the pitching staff for doing such a great job. And then obviously on the offensive end, you got a big two-out hit in the first, scored the first run. We ended up scoring three more, and piled it on in the second a little bit with everything, some doubles. A big two-out. Carried off by Carson. So it was a good game all the way around for the most part. Just took too long.
Bucknell's got the preseason pitcher of the league, or of the year in their league. Got him out pretty short order. What did you think of the way your guys did against him?
I thought we did a great job of laying off a lot of marginal pitches early in the count. We got his pitch count up, fouled off a lot of pitches. Just got a couple big two-out hits and, a couple of big two-out walks, to be honest with you. There were some 3-2 counts, bases loaded, borderline pitches that were low. I think Carson took one there in one of the innings and, kind of ran together. It might have been the first inning. It punched in another run. And, we just didn't chase a lot of pitches. And, very unusual for him to walk people. If you look at his numbers from last year, he walked very many. Tonight he did. And obviously, you throw 40 pitches in one inning, you're not going to be around long.
You wait the whole season to play, and then you bat through the order the first inning. What's it like watching that?
Well, it was good. I mean, it was obviously, I don't know, just excited for our players. They work hard, and, the game's for them. We just try to get them prepared and let them play on game day and have some fun, and they did a good job of that tonight, both offensively, and obviously on the mound.
Dave, when it's cold like that, is it hard to pitch?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. It was actually a lot better than we thought it was going to be. And at the beginning of the game, really weren't too many guys wearing coats, just going out and playing the game a little bit. And start there at the end, it started getting a little bit chilly. But, it's a little difficult to grip the ball when it's that cold. But, hey, they handled it.
What did you feel about Kerstad's, first at bat to be in that situation?
Well, it was a clutch at bat of the inning because, the hitter before him struck out and, left a couple of guys out there in scoring position. We need an RBI there, and then he comes through with a big hit, score a runner from second, and then obviously, it changed the game. It changed, obviously, how long their starter was going to be in the game because he was out there for another, I think, 5 or 6 hitters and probably another 25 pitches and pretty much set the tone for the game once we put those 4 runs up in the first.
What did you like about having him in the 5 spot to open the season?
Well, I wanted a left-handed hitter behind Bonfield, who's right-handed hitter in the 4 hole, and we knew from just looking at matchup numbers and some video that the lefties had a lot more success against him last year than the right-handers did. So I didn't want to have 2 righties back-to-back, so I put some of the right-handers down there. I put Cook down there a little bit and Carson down there, just to break it up a little bit, and it seemed to work a little bit.
Other questions?
Just the pitchers you were able to use, I mean, just kind of like the guys you put in there?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the order we were planning on going. Obviously, if the game would have been tight in the middle of the game, then we would have probably gone with an older pitcher, say a Reindl or someone, but we just felt like if we were doing well, we want to get some of these young guys on the mound, at least two of them, which was Ramage and Bonham. I thought they both did a really nice job, and, Bonham, they scored a couple runs that inning, but really, they were both unearned runs, and he got 2 ground balls, probably had 2 outs, and then they got a hit. He bounced back and got a fly ball and double play ball or whatever it was, and did a good job getting us in the dugout.
You said Kerstadt was really good in the fall. What's he been like after the break?
He probably not as hot, to be honest with you, but his BP yesterday was really good, probably the best he had that I had noticed anyway, since the break, and then his BP today in pregame was good, and he took it to the game. That ball he hit off the wall was absolutely hammered, and it was good to see. It's good to see.
Having a guy like Shaddy, being able to put him in the 9-hole and get that kind of production, what does that do for you?
Well, it's like, I told him last week that don't really get all uptight about where you're at in the batting order. We feel like if you're hitting in the 8-hole, you might be hitting cleanup in the second inning. That's the way we look at it. And I think one of the guys, I think it might have been Cole, made a comment the other day to the media that, it doesn't really matter after the first inning anyway. We feel like we've got 9 good hitters in the lineup, when we start a game, and we're going to wear down the pitcher. That's what we want to do. We want to wear him down where, a lot of times you get to the 6, 7, 8, 9-hole hitter. As a pitcher, you're thinking, I'm going to get through this inning a little easier. And if we don't give him, any indication that that's the way they're going to handle this lineup, it wears them down mentally as much as physically. And, if they make a mistake or two, we can hurt them. And that's what I saw tonight.
What are you hoping to get, and what's it going to be like to see Isaiah take the mound for you tomorrow?
Yeah, it'd be, well, it's going to be great to see him out there pitching, and, we've had the opportunity of seeing him, and I've made the comment, I think really it's more the fans, and y'all haven't seen him pitch. We've seen him pitch a lot. We know how good he is and how good he can be and will be. I'm excited for him. I think he feels like that, he let us down last year. He got hurt. He knew that he was going to one of the main pieces to our pitching staff, and it just happens. It's the way it goes. You have to have depth, and it's been great to have him last year, but we got him this year, so we're excited.
All good? All right, thanks, guys.